Hey everyone, it's Pat from Pat's Over Music. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a little while, we are back using the black backdrop. Haven't used this in so long, but very, very happy to be back again. Really like this setup, and it's been so long, but I think it's just so good for when we put up text and things like that. So, very happy to be back. Now, today we're talking about building speed and strength, but without picking. Now, picking is awesome, and you can certainly get some really fast, sort of articulate sort of runs going on when you are picking. But sometimes that can sort of lead to a lot of different issues if you're not picking correctly, and with some wrist issues or some elbow issues or even some shoulder issues or tension when you sort of get all sort of fired up. So I'm going to show you a different technique called legato, or you could think of it as using more of sort of the power and the technique and the strength from these fingers rather than your wrist. Now, there is a brilliant exercise that I'm going to show you that is non-musical, and there's also an exercise that's musical. So it's up to you. If you're someone that wants to learn music theory and practice their scales and practice technique all at the same time, then there'll be one exercise for you. If you're someone that just wants to sit down and practice just the pure mechanics of it, of the technique without sort of thinking about what notes and everything, then there's a different exercise. So 2 exercises for both of you. Doesn't matter if you've got an electric or an acoustic. If you want to build speed, this video is for you. So it's just a really quick tip today, but regardless of whether you choose the mechanical example or the musical example, if you do it every day and even just for a few minutes, by the next day you'll see growth. By the next week you'll see massive growth. Month, year, you'll really start to take off. So just make this part of your practice routine and you will really see massive results. Enough chat, diving right on in. Pick any fret on the first string. It doesn't matter. Let's just say the 5th fret. Play it with your first finger and then hammer on, or have your second finger land on the fret next to it without picking. So you only pick once. So you're practicing a hammer on. Now, while it's still ringing out, do a pull off. So you pull the string off the fretboard so that then it rings back to your first finger. So that's it. Okay, now that would be a mechanical approach. You're not thinking about what notes you're playing, you're just practicing the technique. Now what I would do is I would actually start a clock like what I've got going, and I would just see how long can you do it for. Can you do it for a minute? Can you do it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Guys like John Petrucci would just practice this one drill. They just do something like that all day, and then once they've tried with their first and second finger, they'd go first and third, first and pinky. Once they've done that, they go up the next string. And so on and so on. But what I would actually do is, rather than go that fast, I would go for as long as you can. Time yourself and make sure that you're really going for as long as you can so that you're fatiguing that muscle so that it's going to get stronger and you're going to be able to go for longer, and you're going to be able to, the tone's going to get a lot sort of more even because you're building up that strength. So that would be one approach. You would do all your different fingers. Now you might be saying to yourself, Pat, what about that first finger? It's just sitting there. So play an open string. And do exactly the same thing all the way up. Again, time yourself, see how long you can go for. Now that was the non-musical example. The musical example, pick a scale like a pentatonic scale or a major scale or a mode, anything that you are learning, and try and hammer on all of the notes. Now to begin with, try and just pick and then hammer on. So for example, if we're doing a C major scale, pick open string, hammer on with the second finger on the 8th fret, then hammer on pinky, then hammer on out of nowhere, so just picking the 7th fret, then 8th, then 10th. Once you've got that, try and hammer on the entire sort of string. So you would play 2 frets on the first string, the 6th string, then 3 frets, then 3 frets, then 3 frets, so like this. And then try and pull off on the way back. so on and so on. So then you're practicing your pull-off and your hammer-ons. It's not so much about flying, it's not so much about playing really, really fast just yet, it's just about building that speed, sort of remembering the technique, remembering how your finger's supposed to move, how clean it's supposed to sound, and then you'd be surprised, then you'll build up that technique, you'll build up that strength, and then you'll just naturally have that speed. The best thing is you don't have to pick really fast, you don't have to pick at all. And when you're first sort of starting out, picking can be the hardest thing to sort of maintain accuracy. But that's it. What did you think? Did you have a good time? Did you learn something? Definitely let me know. If you want to learn more theory, head over to this playlist. If you want to learn sort of more sort of technique and different sort of songs and things, head over to this playlist. Definitely follow me on Instagram for all of my sort of behind the scenes things. And otherwise, I'll see you again very soon. Bye.